Hey everyone, welcome to Post to Post. If you're new, my name is Neil, and this is the last video in the series previews for the playoffs. I've talked about every other series up until this point. After this video comes the bracket prediction video, and then a following bracket video basically saying what I want to happen, who I want to win the Stanley Cup in what order, and what teams I want eliminated first and whatnot. So even though this is the last series preview, there's still playoff hockey talk to come on the channel. If you're new, please consider hitting the subscribe button. But let's get into this. We're talking stats. We're talking some notable call-outs from each team, and then we're going to talk prediction and what I want to happen in this series. So let's get into the stats. Points, 111 for Calgary versus 98 for Dallas, so Calgary takes the win there. Goals for, 293 versus 238, substantial difference there. Calgary gets that one. Goals against, 208 for Calgary, 246 for Dallas. Pretty impressive number there from Calgary. Goal differential, plus 85 for Calgary versus -8. This is the only team that's a minus for as far as goal differential in the entire playoffs, and it's a -8. Just so frustrating for Dallas. Power play, 22.9% for the Calgary Flames, but 22.4% for Dallas, pretty close actually. Penalty kill, 83.2% for Calgary, 79 for Dallas, so Calgary wins there. Again, the record, Calgary went 2-1 versus Dallas, and Dallas obviously went 1-2 versus Calgary, so Calgary wins there again. Home record, 25-9-7 versus 27-10-4. So I guess technically if you added up the points, Calgary might have more, but Dallas, they've got more straight wins at home. So I want to give the win to Dallas there. They need at least one win on this list. And then away record, 25-12-4 for Calgary, and then 19-20-2. So clearly Calgary wins there. What about the last 10? 6-2-2 for Calgary and 5-3-2 for Dallas. I've watched basically every Dallas game in the last 10, and it's been an interesting process, I'll tell you that. We've done 8 of these videos now, or this is the 8th one. I'm going to talk about the notables. We've already talked about stats, but after that, I'm going to kind of blow it all out because I don't think any of it matters. I'll explain why here in a little bit. So, notables for Calgary for me, Johnny Gaudreau, 115 points in 82 games. He's had maybe the best season of his entire career, not just points-wise, but also confidence-wise, I think, as well. Tkachuk, 104 points in 82 games. His game is literally built for the playoffs. Like, he is going to absolutely shine. He did well in the regular season, obviously over 100 points, but the style of hockey that he plays is playoff hockey. He is going to be unbelievable for the Flames here. Lindholm has been excellent. Backlund, Coleman, and Mangiapane, depth, like a lot of depth in Calgary. Toffoli's the dark horse for Calgary. He's the trade deadline acquisition. He provides depth scoring. He provides I think unexpected scoring from odd angles. Toffoli likes to shoot the puck a lot, and he can score from pretty much every angle on the ice. So he's definitely my dark horse for Calgary. Lucic, he has to be responsible. He cannot be a liability for the Calgary Flames. He needs to be physical, he needs to be solid, and he needs to be responsible. He doesn't need to do anything over the top of that. He doesn't need to be offensively contributing. He just needs to be responsible, not a liability. Markstrom has been excellent this year. I expect nothing less from him in these playoffs. So let's switch over to Dallas a little bit. It gets complicated. Pavelski leads the team with 81 points. That's more points than he's ever had in his entire career as far as season to season. And he's 37, I think it is, or whatever it is. Like, no offense to Pavelski, but he shouldn't be leading your team in points. I'm just going to put that out there. So awesome to see him. Amazing to see him at 81 points this season. I love Pavelski, but I would have not expected him to lead the team in points. Jason Robinson, one of the most exciting players to watch. I think their biggest offensive threat, other than Pavelski, like I just mentioned, but I think even in general, Robertson is probably the guy you want to watch. I would try and force, if I'm Calgary, I try and force Pavelski away from the front of the net because no one tips the puck better than Pavelski does. He gets a lot of points just from that. Tyler Seguin needs to be better. He is incredibly defensively irresponsible. And it's so frustrating to watch because there'll be a couple of shifts where he plays extremely well, both defensively and then offensively. And then there's just this little switch that goes off in his head, and he's a liability defensively. And it's so frustrating to watch because I hate inconsistent players. He needs to be better. Speaking of players built for the playoffs in Tkachuk, well, Dallas has one of those too. His name's Jamie Benn. He's the leader of the team, and his style of play, he'll score, he'll pass, he'll fight, he'll lay the body, he'll win puck battles against the boards, and he'll play hard against the boards. Like, that's the player that you want in your team. It's a Jamie Benn, it's a Tkachuk, and I'm glad that both teams have it here. It's going to be interesting to see those two. I suspect maybe some clashing physically between those two. I'm excited for it. Radulov needs to get going. He's been invisible, so he needs to get going. As far as in the net, I think Ottinger, he's been very good this season. I think if Dallas loses, we won't be blaming it on goaltending. Maybe a bit of a bold take, but I truly believe that Dallas's issues are up front, not in net. Now I'm about to blow everything up what I've just said. I'm basically going to tell you that nothing that I've said about the Dallas Stars, whether it's stats, whether it's notables, none of it matters, because they are an incredibly frustrating team to watch. They'll play 4 games where they look unbelievable. They'll blow the lead, but then they'll get it back, or they'll get the lead and then they'll hold on to it incredibly well. But then there's other games where they'll get the lead and just blow it, and that they're just so all over the place. It doesn't really matter who's playing well and who's not. They just have this ability to not be consistent. Like they are the most frustrating team to watch in the Western Conference for me. I think in the East it's probably Philadelphia, because I feel like they're extremely inconsistent as well. But Dallas is just been this team, and I like Dallas. Like, that's the thing. I'm emotionally invested in Dallas's success, and it's even more frustrating watching, not just as a hockey fan, but as a Dallas Stars fan a little bit. And it's just, man, I just don't know. I don't understand this team. Like, I literally don't understand this team. Jamie Benn could score 20 points in this last 10 games coming into this playoffs, and it wouldn't surprise me if the series went 6 games and he didn't get a point. Like, that's just what happens on Dallas. There's no consistency. Also, the systematic play of Dallas seems unplanned at times. Like, honestly, unplanned. It comes down to the little decisions of who you're going to pick for the shootout. And you got it in your mind as a fan, like, okay, he's obviously, Rick Bowness is going to choose these 3 players, and then there's just like a random person that comes in, or if it's the 5th shooter and you've got someone else who you're not even thinking about is going to take the shot, and you're just like, what? I don't understand. So Dallas is just this enigma for me. I just don't understand them, and I'm sure Dallas fans feel the same way. So I don't know what Dallas we're going to get. Like, that's really what I'm circling around to now. I don't know what Dallas Stars team we're going to get. I have they could sweep Calgary and it wouldn't surprise me, and they could get swept and it wouldn't surprise me. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to predict Dallas Stars. That's what it comes down to. Now, what do I want? This is a difficult one for me because, well, I'm Canadian, and I really want to see the Calgary Flames have success and go deep. But I like Dallas Stars. So do I want Dallas to win because I like them more than Calgary, or do I want Calgary to win because they haven't been in the playoffs very much recently? They haven't gone deep recently, and I want them to see them have success, and they're Canadian. It's tough. I'm going to say that I'm predicting Calgary to win. That's my official prediction. Calgary wins this series. I'm going to say Calgary wins this series in 5 or 6. I want Calgary to win. So I'm choosing Calgary to win based on prediction, and I'm choosing Calgary to win based on want. I want to see Calgary go deep because I think they deserve it. To me, Dallas kind of had their chance 2 years ago, and they not necessarily blew it, but they didn't get it done. So give Calgary a chance. So that's my thoughts. I'm picking Calgary for this one. Would love to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I definitely read all the comments. So do you think Dallas is going to win? Do you think Calgary's going to win? Would love to know how you're feeling about this series down below in the comment section. If you're new, please consider hitting the subscribe button. If you did enjoy this video, hit the like button. Coming up next on the channel is the full bracket prediction. So stay tuned for that one. I'll talk to you in that video. Adios.